Since 1981, when AIDS was first discovered, it has now become a pandemic, spreading through human populations around the world. In the last 25 years, it is estimated to have killed 25 million people around the world. AIDS stands for Acquired Immunodeficiency Syndrome. As the name suggests, AIDS is a disease of deficiency in the human immune system, which is acquired during the lifetime of an individual and is not a congenital disease. AIDS is caused by the human immunodeficiency virus, or HIV, that belongs to a group of viruses known as retroviruses, which are known to have an envelope enclosing the RNA genome. The HIV infection is usually transmitted through any one of four ways: through sexual contact with an HIV-infected person, transfusion of infected blood, sharing infected needles, and from an infected mother to a child through the placenta. So, other than children born to HIV-infected mothers, people most susceptible to AIDS are drug abusers who use needles too often to take drugs intravenously, individuals who have multiple sexual partners, and patients of diseases such as thalassemia or dialysis who require frequent blood transfusions. It is evident from these examples that AIDS spreads only through body fluids. It is not transmitted by mere touch or physical contact. Therefore, it is advisable that HIV or AIDS-infected people are not isolated from their family and society for their physical and psychological well-being. The incubation period of AIDS, that is, the time lag between infection and appearance of AIDS symptoms, ranges from a couple of months to many years. Once the HIV virus is inside the body, it enters the macrophages, where RNA, the genome of the virus, replicates to form viral DNA, aided by enzyme reverse transcriptase. The viral DNA takes over the host cell's DNA and directs infected cells to produce virus particles. The macrophages produce an army of viruses, therefore acting as an HIV factory. At the same time, HIV enters helper T lymphocytes and produces progeny viruses, which, when released into the blood, attack other helper T lymphocytes in the body of the infected person. The process is repeated till the number of helper T lymphocytes gradually decreases inside the body, resulting in reduced production of antibodies, which affects the immune system. The infected individuals suffer from diarrhea, fever, and weight loss. They become so immune deficient due to the loss of helper T lymphocytes that they are vulnerable to infections caused by bacteria like mycobacterium, viruses, fungi, and even parasites like toxoplasma. Had the HIV virus not infected the body, these infections would have been naturally fought by the body's immune system. The ELISA, or enzyme-linked immunosorbent assay test, is commonly used to diagnose AIDS, whereas antiretroviral drugs are used to treat AIDS. However, drugs can only prolong the life of an AIDS patient. Death is inevitable due to the gradual loss of immunity. Since AIDS has no cure, Prevention is the key to keep it at bay. It is important to ensure that blood banks have safe blood and only disposable needles and syringes are used. Efforts must be made to control drug abuse. Sex education must be imparted to the masses so that people indulge only in safe sex. And condoms should be freely distributed and regular checkups made a must among susceptible populations. The WHO has started several initiatives to check the spread of AIDS. In India as well, some NGOs and organizations like NACO, that is, the National AIDS Control Organization, work to create awareness about AIDS so that the disease does not spread due to ignorance. These organizations encourage that HIV infection is not hidden or it may spread further. Moreover, awareness is also important so that society doesn't shun AIDS patients. Together with the medical fraternity and treatment, society plays an important role in the mental well-being of an AIDS patient. Therefore, though AIDS is caused due to acquired deficiency in immunity due to ignorance and unsafe lifestyle practices, AIDS patients need our help and sympathy rather than our disapproval. The word cancer evokes fear in our minds, and why not? It is a disease that claims more than millions of lives annually in India alone, and has been the subject of a lot of research by scientists and biologists. Scientists have found that cancer is characterized by the uncontrollable growth of the body's cells. In a healthy body, cell growth and differentiation is controlled and regulated. Normal cells display the property of contact inhibition, that is, the inhibition of uncontrolled cell growth due to their being in contact with other cells. In cancer cells, this property of contact inhibition is completely absent. As a result, cancerous cells divide to form abnormal masses of cells called tumors. Tumors are either benign or malignant. Benign tumors cause little damage as they remain confined to their original location and do not spread to other parts of the body. On the other hand, malignant tumors, also known as neoplastic cells, grow very rapidly and damage surrounding normal tissues. They compete with normal cells for vital nutrients, thereby starving them. Cells cast off such malignant tumors, travel to other parts of the body through the blood, and start new tumors elsewhere. This frightening property of malignant tumors is also known as metastasis. The physical, chemical, and biological agents responsible for transforming normal cells into cancerous neoplastic cells are known as carcinogens. Different types of ionizing radiations such as X-rays and non-ionizing radiations such as UV rays and gamma rays damage DNA, causing neoplastic transformation. Similarly, the chemical carcinogen nicotine present in tobacco causes lung cancer. Biological carcinogens can be found in viruses called oncogenic viruses, as they can induce the formation of tumors. They are also called tumor viruses and have genes called viral oncogenes. Even normal cells have certain genes like cellular oncogenes and proto-oncogenes, which, when activated under certain conditions such as mutations, lead to the oncogenic transformation of cells. This cell transformation in turn induces uncontrolled cell division. Due to this scary nature of proliferation of cancerous cells in an infected body, early detection of cancer is essential for its successful treatment. Cancer is detected by using a variety of methods such as a biopsy, histopathology of blood as well as tissue, and bone marrow tests. In a biopsy, a piece of suspected tissue is cut into thin sections, stained, and observed under a microscope by a pathologist. This microscopic examination of tissue to study the manifestation of disease is called histopathology. Bone marrow tests are also conducted to detect increased cell counts in the case of leukemia. Apart from these methods, detection of cancer in internal organs is made possible by techniques such as radiography, that is,